She kept waving back. Got it. I'll use that format from now on. Here's the same story reformatted. She kept waving back. Posted by you deleted soon, please. My grandmother lived alone in a small house at the end of a cul-de-sac. She was sharp, independent, never wanted help from anyone. We talked on the phone every Sunday without fail. One Sunday, she didn't answer. I figured she was napping. Tried again that evening. Nothing. I drove over the next morning. She was fine. Said she'd been busy. When I asked what she'd been doing, she smiled and said she'd made a new friend. A little girl from the neighborhood had been coming by every afternoon and waving to her through the living room window. Grandma would wave back. Said it was the highlight of her day. I thought it was sweet. Told her not to let strangers inside, just in case. She laughed at me. This went on for about 3 weeks. Every time I visited, she'd bring up the little girl. Same time every day, like clockwork. Always waving. Never knocked, never spoke. Just waved. Then one afternoon I was there when it happened. I saw her. Maybe 8 or 9 years old. Dark hair. Standing at the edge of the front yard. Just past the window. Waving. Slowly. Something felt wrong immediately. I don't know how to explain it. She was smiling, but her face looked off. Like someone who had been told what a smile was supposed to look like, but had never actually seen one. I waved back instinctively. The girl's expression didn't change at all. She just kept waving. I asked my grandmother how long she'd been standing there before I noticed. Grandma said, "Oh, she usually comes around 3. It was 3. I went outside immediately to talk to her. By the time I got to the front door and opened it, the yard was empty. I walked the whole cul-de-sac, knocked on 2 neighbors' doors. Nobody knew who I was talking about. One couple had lived there for 11 years and said, no children lived on the street. I went back inside and didn't say anything to my grandmother. I didn't want to scare her, but I looked it up when I got home. Searched the address, the street, old news articles. A little girl had gone missing from that neighborhood in 1987. They never found her. Her school photo was in an old newspaper scan. Dark hair, big smile. I haven't been back to my grandmother's house since. I tell myself it's because I've been busy. But the truth is, my grandmother called last Sunday and mentioned, very cheerfully, that her little friend had started waving from a different window, the one that faces the backyard.